Have you ever had a brilliant app idea but felt completely stuck because you have no idea how to code? Well, what if I told you that within the next 20 minutes, I will show you how to go from app idea in your head to a fully working app without writing a single line of code. So building apps without you writing a single line of code is called AI coding or vibe coding. And basically what this means is you're building software by describing what you want using simple natural language, and the AI actually writes the code and does all the heavy lifting for you. But the biggest problem that most beginners face is they have great ideas, but they just don't know how to communicate effectively with the AI to get the outcome that they want. So basically what this means is the quality of your app is highly dependent upon the quality of your prompts, right? So garbage prompt, garbage app. But if your prompt is really well crafted, now you're cooking. So over the course of this video, I'm gonna show you the exact 3-tool tech stack that takes any beginner from idea to working app. And by the end, you'll have everything you need to start building today. Let's get into it. The thing about vibe coding, especially when it comes to beginners, is that they just get overwhelmed by choice. There are hundreds of tools and everyone has their opinion on which one is the best. I've tested dozens of these tools over the past 6 or so months now, and I'm proud to say that I finally figured out the winning combination. So today I'm sharing the ultimate beginner tech stack that encompasses 3 tools that I just believe fit perfectly together, and they honestly can help a 5-year-old build an app. Before I share that tool stack with you though, I'm gonna take you through the process of what it means to actually vibe code. So if we come down to the bottom here, we can see perfect. So the first step is to turn the vibe into a concept that you can build, right? So what does that mean? Just you have an idea and you want to get that idea into words, right? Once you have that idea into words, and we have a perfect tool that helps us do that, right? Because before, the better the prompt, the better the app. And so I'll show you a tool that gives you the perfect prompt out the box. Once we have that idea perfectly described in a prompt, we want to drop that prompt into a tool that can quickly prototype the idea into a working UI. UI just stands for user interface, and basically what it is what the user sees and how they interact with the app. So you as a user of the app that you will be building, what does it look like? How does it feel to click the buttons? What do the buttons look like? That's what a prototype really nails down. And then once we have that prototype, you want to take that prototype into an IDE, which is basically a fancy term for a code editor. And this is where we will have AI actually build out more complex features of our app and actually make it all come together. Now, the 3 tools that we'll be using for this beginner tech stack tutorial for the building of this app, first is Synapz app. And this is an app that I really like to use that helps you really capture, connect, and organize your thoughts instantly. And you'll see it. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that, but you can speak or type an idea and this AI will give you an exact outline or blueprint in order for you to get off the ground running in a really good direction for your app. Once we have that prompt that this Synapz apps will give us for our prototype or our UI for our app, that's where we'll go to bolt.new. And this is a fast prototyping tool, right? You take that prompt from Synapz, as I just mentioned, to get your UI for the app. And this part is where you really focus on design, right? I really like to use bolt.new, just really nail in the UI and the aesthetic of my app. And I'll show you a couple of tricks that can really help you with this process as we dive into the actual vibe coding flow of this video. All right, so now bolt.new, we got our UI, and bolt.new will give us some code that we can import directly into Cursor. And Cursor is that IDE or code editor that I mentioned earlier, and it is AI powered. So you don't have to know how to code or really what the code even does. The AI will handle it as long as you know what to say to it. And I'll show you exactly how that process looks like. And like I said, it's an AI agent to further build and develop the app and add more features and functionality. Let's start vibe coding. Let's start vibing. Let's start building. So step 1 is to turn that random app idea that you have into a structured plan that you can execute on, right? And as I mentioned before, this is where most beginners get stuck, right? They have that idea of an app, but they just don't know how to break that app down into actionable steps so that they can actually get building. And so this is a really cool tool that kind of mitigates that problem. It's called synapz.app. I'll leave the link in the description. You can check it out for free. And basically what it does is it allows users to speak or type an idea just off the cuff. It doesn't have to be well thought out or anything along those lines. And it gives you an outline, a blueprint, some prompts, a couple Git repositories on how you can really get going out of the box for your app, right? This is the fun part, I promise. Now, when you come to synapz.app, you have two options to kind of give the AI your idea. You can tap to speak here, or you can come to this keyboard icon and type your idea. That's what I'll do today. And today what I want to create is an AI powered gratitude journal. I think that's going to be fun to build out, and I can show you how to plug AI into the apps that you build, which will be a really cool tool for you to know as a beginner as well. So let me go ahead and type in what I want. AI powered gratitude journal. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it as simple as that. You can see how simple this prompt is. All I'm putting into it is AI powered gratitude journal. Or let me add a web app as well. And then you just hit generate and you wait for the AI to cook. And then boom, here we go. Just promised our full outline given it to us by AI. We have executive summary, we have some key features, right? You can take a look at those. The AI code generation prompt, this is really big right here. As you can see, it's optimized for Bolt, V0, Lovable, Cursor, any vibe coding tool that you can think of. You can plop this prompt in and it'll give you a out of the box, pretty good starting point for your app, right? And so if we scroll down a little bit further, we can see some technical requirements given to us by the AI, the development roadmap, some code examples that can come in handy later on, as well as some recommended APIs. Basically what this is how to connect other technology to your app to make it function with AI or whatever the API is for. And then yeah, like I mentioned earlier too, GitHub repositories that you can essentially think of these as like templates, right? And then it also gives you an option to download the outline, which I think is cool as well. And then obviously you can edit anything that you want in each section, but I think we're just gonna save it for now. Let's make sure we copy this prompt, right? Because we're going to use that in a bit. Perfect. And yeah, we can just save this, right? And the cool thing about synapz.app as well is it saves all your outlines to a dashboard. So if you have an idea and that you can't build on in that moment, you can just speak your idea and save it and then go back to it later, which is really cool. Awesome. Now we have our prompt from synapz.app. Now we're at bolt.new. And this is what I mentioned earlier, where you can drop this prompt in that we got from Synapz and put it into bolt.new and have a interface for a working app. So let me drop that in here. Perfect. And let's send her off. And so this is what the bolt.new interface looks like. So on the left-hand side, your typical chat interface. This is where you prompt the AI to basically make any changes that you want in your app, right? And so once it's gone through, right, see these agents, they think for a little bit. This user is asking me to create a visual prototype for an AI-powered gratitude journal web app. However, there's, okay, yeah, it thought, all right? And so now it's gonna go out and build that app for me. This is where the preview will appear, but what is also cool about bolt.new is if you're technical, which I'm assuming based on this video is for beginners, you may not be, but just for the sake of showing you, you can see just all the code, and the AI is going in and writing all the code files for our app to work. So let's just go back to the preview and let the AI cook our gratitude journal. All right, let's review everything so far, right? So a 5 to 6 word prompt into or idea into synapz.app. From that, the AI gave us a complete outline on how to go about building this app, as well as a prompt to drop into any no code or vibe coding tool of your choice. We chose bolt.new in this instance. Fed that prompt into bolt.new. It thought, it gave us some core features, right? Design elements, see how intuitive these AI models are. As I said, we started this with 6 words, and now the AI cooked. It's up something incredibly cool for the amount of work that we've done so far. Again, we haven't written a single line of code, and check this out. Okay, so now that we have a beautiful working UI prototype, the app doesn't actually work because we're just building out the prototype with bolt.new. we're going to make the app actually work inside Cursor. And the beautiful thing about this chat feature is if you don't know anything, you just ask it, right? And so that's what I did up here. I complimented the AI on the job well done on the landing page, and then I asked it if the app works. It told me it did not yet work, but it gave me a plan on how to make it work. And so that's what we're gonna do, right? We're going to download this code in order to be able to import it into Cursor, to be able to use that agent within Cursor to help us build out this AI functionality. So let's do that now. Now, in order to get this code imported into Cursor, this is how we do it, right? And so we'll come to these three dots up here at the top here. We'll go to export and we'll go to download. That immediately takes us to our downloads, right here. Takes us to that zip and it'll expand the zip. We come here, boom. The project is inside of our downloads. And then what we want to do is come to Cursor. Okay, so this is Cursor. If you don't already have it downloaded, as you can see here, you can get started for free. And with the free plan, you get a 2-week trial for the pro plan, which includes all this here. I really do suggest you get the pro plan. You can't really beat it. You can build apps with $20 a month. It's kind of miraculous, but yeah, I recommend just giving it a try. If you love it, upgrade to the $20 plan. I'll leave a link in the description to Cursor. And by the way, I'm not affiliated with these tools. Like Cursor, I'm not affiliated with or anything like that. I just use them on my day-to-day workflow, and I think they can help you in your process as a vibe coder. So yeah, that's Cursor. Okay, so now we're ready to import what we got from bolt.new into Cursor. So what you want to do is, once you have Cursor downloaded, come to open it, wait for that to load up here. Okay, this opens this screen for Cursor here. And what we want to do is open a project. Once we open a project, we can come to our downloads. Here's our project right here. We just want to click on that. We can see all of the files that bolt.new AI wrote for us, and then we just want to open it. Okay, now we are in Cursor and we have our code files within this project, right? And so I like to start in auto just because, yeah, you get unlimited usage of the auto AI model within Cursor. And so just kind of like, if this is your first time seeing Cursor, I know it can look a little intimidating, but trust me, it's not. So over here to the left, this is where your code lies. And what you want to think about is these are just where your code files are. So all the files that make your app work will be on this left-hand side. In the middle is how you can edit code manually yourself. So if you come into a file here and you can see, like, you have code here, and this is where you can edit it. And I can show you a use case for that a little later, but let's close that out here now. And on the right-hand side is where your AI agent is. And this is the agent that you will talk to prompt to write your code. So think of this if you use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, your typical LLMs or chat interfaces with AI. This is all this is on the right hand side, but this one writes code within your code editor. So just to start off, let's just say, what does this app do, right? Let's see what it says for that. Right, so this app is an AI-powered gratitude journaling web application called Mindful. Its main features and purpose are, right, the AI-guided gratitude journal, mood tracking, insights, and analytics, streak tracking, and beautiful monitoring. In summary, the app is designed to help users build a habit of gratitude journaling, gain insights into their emotional well-being, and foster mindfulness, all with assistance of AI. Awesome. Okay, now let's take the plan that Bolt gave us in order to make our app fully functional, right? So we have database integration, AI integration, user authentication, database persistent, and then backend logic. All right, so let's just copy that and then put it into Cursor with our Cursor agent. All right, and so once we have this kind of laid out list of functionality that we want to add inside Cursor, now what we're going to say is, here is what will be needed for the full functionality of this app. Please add this to an AMD file for us to reference later, right? And so now it's going to take this plan and list, and yep, you see it made a file, which is just like a text file. And this will keep us on track to know and for the AI and for us to know where we are in the process of actually building this app, right? And so yeah, the database integration, what I want to work on first really to make this like app actually work is the AI integration, right? So I want to incorporate these capabilities to generate personalized prompt for users and provide insights based on the user's entries and activities. So I want to say I want to add AI functionality to this app. First, how should we proceed to implement this feature? Right? And so the AI is going to answer my question. Says, great, adding AI functionality is an exciting step. That it is. Here's a recommended approach to proceed tailored for your gratitude journal app, right? And so define the AI features, decide what AI powered features you want to start with based on your earlier list. 2 strong candidates are personalized prompt. Yeah, that's perfect. Use a hosted AI API, right? So you can use OpenAI, or we can use, we'll probably use OpenAI. We could use Gemini, Claude, whatever, but we'll likely use OpenAI. And so, yeah, it kind of gave us this whole plan, right? It's probably more than what we wanted to. So I want to add the AI functionality, and that's just come up here of these two. Please build this function out for me, and I will give you the API keys to make this function. Create the file necessary with placeholder for credentials, and I will fill them in once you are done. All right, so this is a prompt that I gave it. I want to add these 2 AI functionality. I'm telling it to build out this function for me, and I'm letting it know that I will give it the API keys for the AI, which is how you connect the OpenAI's technology to your app, and it'll create the necessary files with it with a placeholder, right? So again, I'll show you how to find your API keys, but just keep in mind these are supposed to be protected. Treat these like passwords. All right, so let's send that off. And yeah, the AI is going in and writing on all the code for us, right? So you can see it's working in package.json, and it wrote all that code for us. Now it's making the .env file. This is where you are to put you see how it says OpenAI API keys here? This type of file keeps them private. Yeah, it's gonna continue to write out all this code for us, and we'll check back in. It's done. Okay, in that prompt to cursor, you saw I mentioned API keys, and so we're gonna use the OpenAI API keys, right? And so this is where you go to platform.openai.com, I believe. Yep. And then all you want to do is create a new secret key. Remember, keep these private. We'll call this gratitude journal. The project can just be a default project, and we'll create a new secret key. Remember, keep these private. Okay, the AI has completed its work. I asked it also to create a .env file with placeholders so that I can paste in my API key right here. If you're following along, be sure that you have a .env file, and you can just place your key right here. I'm gonna place mine in here right now, but I'm gonna do it off screen because again, you're supposed to keep these private. Okay, now this is my next prompt. I place my API key in the .env. Please run this locally. Please run this locally for me to test. And this is basically how we're going to see our app and play around with it, test it to see if that functionality and features actually work. So let's send that off, and it will begin to cook. Perfect. Now, as it goes through here, it may ask me to just accept some commands. It's loading, doing its thing here. Oh, it also is helpful if you move this terminal to down here so that it can kind of do its thing as well. Drop this down. But yeah. Okay, I'm getting an error. Don't really know what it is. So I'm just gonna paste that error in here and say the isn't running locally. Please fix. So it says it sees the issues. There are no dependencies installed. Perfect. It'll go through and do that for us. We can close her out. Perfect. Dependencies are now installed. Now it is doing its thing. Perfect. Dependencies installed. Now it's going to run the app locally so that we can test her out. Let me try starting a server individually. Okay, perfect. It appears we're running. Let me just continue with the commands. Perfect. All right, so just come here, go command and click, and here's up. Perfect. And I'm getting errors connecting to this service. Okay, so we've got our app running locally, but I noticed a issue right here on the journal page. first of all, that doesn't work, but let's just go to here, today's gratitude. You can see here, error connecting to AI service. And when I try again, blah, 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 no, nothing's working. So what you want to do is let me do that again. What you want to do is right click on your app, come down to inspect, come to the console logs, and all you're going to want to do is come and grab all of this, copy it, select it, highlight it first, and then you want to copy this. Then you want to come into cursor and let it know. It appears that the AI isn't working on the app. Here are the browser console logs. Boom. And I go, please fix. And so we'll send that off and the AI will go and find the issue. It says the front end is running on port, but the core is connected back end. Okay. Don't know what it means, but the AI does. And so we're just gonna go through and accept these commands and see if it fixes our errors. All right, so we'll go back here, make this one bigger, come here, close this one. Boom. Here's our AI reflection. Reflect on a specific moment from the past week that brought you a smile to your face. AI model and LLM getting exponentially better by the second. All right, so if I save it, it probably won't do anything, but it's cool that we have this prompt for our gratitude journal. All right, so if we save it, okay, it gave us something, which is cool. So the AI analysis is, the reflection is, it's wonderful to see you consistently practicing gratitude. Okay, so this is clearly mock data. Okay, so no, it's not mock data. It's actually real data, but I want it to be a little bit more robust, right? And so let me just make sure that, yeah, we don't have any errors in here. So everything's working properly. But let's just say if we want to make some edits to the AI analysis. So let me update the cursor agent and say, okay, that works now, but I don't like the AI generated analysis. Have it be more thoughtful and robust. And let's just see what it thinks to do in that instance. So it says, I'll improve the AI analysis to be more thoughtful and verbose. Let me update the prompts in the backend to generate better insights. See, basically what that means is there's system prompts that are making this AI work and letting it know what to do and what we are expecting of it. And so now the AI is going in and editing it so that once we do get some insights or analysis, they're a little bit more thoughtful and more along the lines of where we want it. So that's cool. Let's let that cook and see what kind of updates we have. A couple of other updates that I want to make too is basically like build out these pages. Right now, they don't work. The only real function and feature that we have right now is this, which is fine. It's nice, but we want to build it out a little bit more. So, all right, so we have to restart the server to apply those changes. So I'm accepting those commands. Perfect. And so we should be running again here. Let me just close that out. Come here. We open it back up again. And let's see what improvements we made. All right, so look, we even have a longer prompt already. Reflect on a moment from the past week that brought a subtle sense of peace or contentment to your heart. Spending Sunday out by the lake. All right, so let's see, we'll save it. So it's analyzing the entry and then boom, we have some more, just like better insight in my opinion. All right, so this video is getting a little lengthy, so let's add a couple of more AI features, or just features, have the AI build out more features, and then we'll wrap it up until next time. So what I want to do now is I want to make the pages on the top of the navigation bar. I want to make them work, right? So let's just start out with the journal page. I noticed that the pages in the link pages in the nav bar do not work or have a page assigned to them. Please build out the journal page and make it match the UI of the whole app. Complete the whole app. All right, cool. I'll send that off and let's see what it cooks up. So yeah, it says I'll help you build out the journal page and fix the navigation. Let me first examine the current nav and structure and create a dedicated journal page. All right, so this will put us in a pretty cool spot for day one of our build. Pretty pleased so far. We haven't written a single line of code, not once. Only thing I've done so far in terms of editing code is dropped in an API key. AI has built out this entire thing for us, and all we had to come with was a little bit of ideas, inspiration, and a little bit of will. What a cool time to be alive. You can have an idea and instantly have the tools to be able to bring that idea to life, even if you didn't have any prior technical skills. All you need to do is learn how to communicate, which is a pretty cool thing to experience. Yeah, and so the AI is continuing to come through and write out code files for us. You remember where we started with earlier in the build, and now we have this whole list of code files to the left, all fully written by AI. So excited to see what this journal page will look like. And yeah, let's see. Oh, it looks like it went out and built out maybe the other pages as well. You'll notice as you continue on your vibe code journey, the AI likes to pre-guess what you are going to want, and it wants to kind of impress you. And so it'll go on and do things that you may not have asked for, but just be patient and bear with it. I like to think that it is doing it to be helpful, although sometimes it is not very helpful, but hey, it's pretty cool technology nonetheless. So I give it the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, like it's going in, still building through all these pages. Let's let it cook and I'll check in when it's done. Okay, the AI is done. It said that it went through, it added additional pages that I didn't ask for, as I was mentioning earlier, but that's okay. Let's see what it cooked up. Okay, so still looking the same. We still have some prompts auto-generating upon. So if we come to the journal page, boom, look at this. Your gratitude journal. Pretty cool. Look, and then it has recent entries, your stats. Obviously, I think most of this could be mock data, especially this, right? But that's okay. And yeah, like this is pretty cool, right? You can put in how you're feeling, and then your gratitude entry, you can save it. And let's see what the other page says. Insights, very cool. Yeah, see it has common themes of what you're talking about. It has a streaks page, which looks very cool, and a profile page. Awesome. You can even set up daily reminders. It has a system theme, all that. So yeah, just a recap of all that we've done today, right? We had an idea, right? A 5 to 6 word idea, simple idea. Anybody could have thought of it. My 5-year-old cousin could have thought of it. Dropped it in synapz.app, right? Synapz gave us a complete outline on how to build this app. We took the prompt from that outline, dropped it into bolt.new, got this beautiful UI and prototype of an app straight out the box. Shout out to bolt.new, phenomenal. We have gradient from text to buttons to backgrounds. And then once we had this beautiful UI, we dropped it into Cursor. And with Cursor, we added more pages, right? We added these pages, we connected it to AI technology via API keys, which we showed and went through on how to do. Yeah, let me know what other things that you want to see, all things AI. What kind of apps you want to see me build that you can build alongside me. As I said earlier, I'll drop the prompts and the links to all the tools and resources used throughout this video. Comment something you want to see next time. I'm dropping tutorials weekly. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this, I promise. All right, peace. Appreciate y'all.